So I actually want to either get the Hydra to kill the golems, because I think they respawn. I'm almost certain they respawn. It'd be great if the Hydra would just kill them for me, which is a real trick. Now I wouldn't mind circumventing the Hydra. I have a vague memory of being able to get around the Hydra without killing it. I'm pretty sure it's doable. I don't ever see anyone do it. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. But I think it's possible. I think it is. I don't know if you can get to Dusk, though. I don't know if you can, like, summon her and bring her in. Not entirely sure. Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. That's the kind of clever play I want to see from this playthrough. That's what I want to see. I want to see this playthrough bring out more of that in me. And I would actually love to see more people do a playthrough like this. I know there are playthroughs like this out there. But the limitations of having a broken straight sword, now things are starting to pick up and get a little more interesting. I'm starting to be able to do a few more things as opposed to just running from point A to point B. I can do stuff like this now because I've got a few tricks up my sleeve, like Magic Weapon and Power Within, which, by the way, I opted to go for heal against the Hydra because I don't think... I feel like the Power Within isn't dishing out enough to me for how little health I have depending on what enemy I'm fighting. Man, just short. But I do think... Ouch. I really don't like these guys. I don't care for them much at all. But I do think that having all this stuff is going to help me a lot more. And just keep things more interesting, give me the ability to do more things. It's, like I said, it's either going to get easier or it's going to get harder from here. Probably easier. Alright, it's going to take way too long. These guys are like, they're resistant to physical damage and magic. I think they're only weak to pyromancy. I could be wrong, but I feel like they are. Well, there we go. Min-Red Tearstone. No. Okay. There go my S is just trying to get to the Hydra. Alright, screw it. And if things start to go bad with the Hydra, I might try to take a suicide run over to Dusk. Because all I really want is Dusk. I don't actually want to kill the Hydra. I don't care about the Hydra. Hydra is one of my least... It's such a cool enemy in the game, and I appreciate it for being an interesting mini-boss. But, God, I hate that. Hate that. Actually, if I had the Rusted Iron Ring, that would be helpful right about now. Come on, get close, get close, get close. And I've got no real ranged attacks, and I can't really abuse, like, throwing knives either, because it's too much. Oh, the Night Set, I kind of forgot that was here. Oh. And this Hydra in particular can get, even though it won't move from where it is, it can get very stuck over in the corners, I'm sure many people are familiar with. And that is just plain annoying and time-consuming. And it's going to pull me off the edge. Gosh, don't do that. Yeah, I'm moving slow. You know, what's sad about the... Ouch, that was a direct hit. What's sad about that... I should also buff my weapon. What's sad about a few of the items in this game... There's my chance. Like the Rusted Iron Ring, for example, is by the time you really get around to getting it... And I could go get it now, right? I need to get back there. Yeah, I could. Which we should probably do. But... a lot of the items in the game are really only helpful in New Game Plus after you pick them up once. Like, a lot of times you need them or want them early on in the game, and by the time you get them, you've already passed or gotten by half of what it would have been useful to get it with. Now, this is going to take longer than I expected. I'm not sure how the heads work either. I assume it's a certain amount of damage per head before it gets cut off. Kind of like the way the Four Kings work. I hate the Four Kings. Oh my god, I just thought I was going to fight the Four Kings. I don't want to fight the Four Kings. I'm gonna need to be as overpowered as I possibly can be by the time we get to the Four Kings. They are my least favorite boss in this game. Cool concept, cool looking boss, cool arena, cool way to get to them. Hate the boss. Hate it with a passion. My least favorite Dark Souls boss, hands down. Not to speak about other Dark Souls games, but... Because, I mean, 2 has plenty of bosses I'm unimpressed by. But the Four Kings is just a frustrating boss that I never look forward to fighting. And I could really use some of the, like, Dragon Crest Ring. There's a lot more stuff for us to get, so... I'll be sure to get a couple more things off camera when it's convenient for me and get as much on camera as I can. Because there's just a number of things we need to pick up. Now, here we go. Not only is it difficult for me to move, but my weapon is... I wonder if this is the shortest weapon in the game. I actually don't know. I should actually... Oh my god. I should probably look into that. I'm sure there's a Dark Souls wiki somewhere that will cover that. I bet this is one of the shortest weapons in the game, if not the shortest. That was terrible. This is good. Yeah. Don't be surprised if I magically cut away to when I eventually beat it. And I certainly wouldn't do anything like cut out any deaths if I fall off. I wouldn't do that. You know, to knock on wood here, but this actually isn't going nearly as bad as I thought it was going to. I thought this was going to be a nightmare. Just getting near the Hydra is actually the trick, and then once you get near this one, it's not too bad. The one in Ash Lake, which we've already seen actually, is much worse and much harder to fight because it moves around. It's actually more aggressive. It's more smarter, intelligent, in my opinion. But this is actually not going as bad as I thought it would. Granted, we're down to 2 heads, and here's where it gets, ouch, tedious. Yeah, well, what do you expect there? I may get to a point where I gotta toss a few things at it, but if I've gotten like, you know, 90% of the enemy's health down, and I toss a firebomb or 2 at it to kill it, I don't feel that bad about it, especially when it's the Hydra. Especially when it does this. Everyone knows, everyone's fought this thing, they know. It's a pain. It's a pain on a regular playthrough. I've seen some good ways to kill it, but, you know, just go with the old-fashioned way, right? I also don't think I've mentioned, I really like the way that the magic weapon buff looks. All the other buffs in the game are really cool, but the magic weapon buff, I don't feel like you see it very often, and it's actually a really cool buff. I think it looks really cool. It's one of my favorite things, too, because you get it so early on. Intelligence is, like, a really good... A little bit of intelligence is great, especially early on, and then getting a lot of it later is really good. The intermediate's not fantastic. See that? Like, what am I going to do here? Right? If we reach that point a bunch of times, I know I can manipulate the head, but I'm not spending all day here. You know, what's interesting, too, is this is actually a really big pit over here, and it actually goes way along the edge. It feels like whoever in game design placed the Hydra over to the far right corner and couldn't have bothered to place him in the middle. I feel like they did this on purpose. I feel like they did, even though a lot of things have been done in this game on purpose, and a lot of things in this game were actually not done on purpose. There are a number of mistakes in this game, and they're often overlooked. Which, you know, every game's got its fair share of mistakes. I'm not trying to call Dark Souls out to be a terrible game, but this is one of them. Alright, firebomb, 2 knives. Do I have enough to kill it? And a dung pie. I bet a dung pie wouldn't do anything, but we're going to grab it. See, even where it's placed right now, it can't even hit me with its ranged attack. I wonder if it would have been smarter to use golden pine resin. Alright, well, here we go. Try to hit the head as it comes by. That's what I'm talking about. We should be able to do this. I kind of want to go around the edge and see what it'll do if I go this way, but I've come too far. Oh, I don't want to do this again, so... I could just hit the body, but it's probably safer to hit the head. Oh, I forgot that poisoned me, too. I would be surprised if it could be poisoned. Alright, we're close. I should have enough if I don't miss. Should have just enough. There we go. Dragon scale. Oh, and it gives me the dust crown ring. That's right. Hydra down. Who's the man? I did it. I feel pretty good about that. And a nice chunk of souls. Alright, obstacle out of my way. I do kind of wish I'd gone around the side. I know I've tried that before. I think it shoots at you into the cave. Alright, well, we came out of that better or worse. I'm not sure which. Whoops, there go my gauntlets. I can't remember which gauntlet. I probably had the black leather gauntlets on. Probably. It's probably the... I should actually... I want to go through my stuff and rearrange everything I've got. Yeah, we'll grab those. Those are just kind of better. The Shadow Garb is actually really good stuff you get early on, but we're about to go pick up the Sealer set as soon as we head back into Blight Town. And I do like that set, and I'll be wearing probably the bottom for it. I don't know. I kind of... Well, no, I'll probably end up wearing the bottom for it. Now... What is this? I think... Alright, okay. Grants extra casting, but halves HP. That could actually be really useful in a few situations. I'm going to keep the red tearstone ring on. I actually don't want to go sit at a bonfire. We got some heals. So... I don't know if this crystal golem is weak to lightning, but we're going to find out. I also wonder if Lloyd's Talisman... I always wonder because there's... Someone found out at one point that if you hit a mimic with a Lloyd's Talisman, it puts it to sleep. Which, to me, is just awesome. It's just so cool that an item like that would do that. There's no indication that it would do that at all, either. So I've always wanted to hit every enemy in the game with Lloyd's Talismans. I'm sure someone would have found this out by now if it did anything to any other enemy. But I've always wanted to just, like, do stuff. Like, just hit every single enemy in the game with Lloyd's Talisman. See what happens. Is the golem there? No. Okay, I gotta quit and reload. I don't even know. Do you have to kill the Hydra to trigger the golem? I think that might be the problem. I think I've run over here before. He wasn't here. I quit and reloaded, and it wouldn't respawn until the Hydra was here. I suppose you could also fight the Hydra from over here. You can also fight it from up above, but... There it is. Okay. I'm almost certain, not positive, but almost certain that that guy will not spawn there unless you've killed the Hydra. Even if you quit and reload and come over here. Alright, let's see how this goes. Oh, that's not good. Oh my god, I don't want to die. Well, I'm in red tearstone ring at least. That's worth the damage. See, that's worth the risk. I was late on the roll. There's a little bit of lag and there's a bit of latency there. It was worth the risk. He actually doesn't have that much health. Not as much as I remember him having. I really do like the follow-up, though. The R2 and then the R1. It's a good follow-up. Doesn't use too much stamina. It's quick. The moves, thank God the moveset for this weapon is pretty good. There we go. That was, I gotta be honest, that was much easier than I thought it would be. So I'm either underestimating my skill coming back to me, or I'm just getting stronger. Yes, I love Dusk. I love her very, proper way of speaking. There's a better term for that. I can't think of it off the top of my head right now, but the way she speaks, I like that kind of speaking. And I like Dusk in general. I like Dusk. I like the whole Ulysseal DLC side story, which isn't really a side story because I know a lot of DLC was actually planned from the initially, and then it kind of wound up being DLC. But I think it's some of the best story DLC I've ever seen, and I really enjoy this whole the characters in the DLC and all of that. She was talking, I don't remember what she said. Yes. I always forget. There's only a few NPCs you need to make sure you pay attention, but she's pretty sure she asked us to teach us the thing. In general, this is actually my favorite area. This whole area feels like a very, even though it's not optional, it feels optional. I'm really going to need the golems to leave me alone, though. I really don't want to fight them. I don't want them to hurt Dusk. She has so much stuff I need. I don't want to fight you guys. I don't. I don't. I don't. Go away. Please go away. Oh, please. Here we go. Okay. Now, as I was saying, back to Dusk, which I worked so very hard for. Killed the Hydra, killed the golems, killed all the golems. Dusk. Please help me out. You have so much I need. I don't know if ever there has been a playthrough where someone needed Dusk more than I did. I also just like Dusk. Like I said, I really like her as a character. I think she's awesome, and I love her, I was going to say armor. That's technically correct, technically not correct. The antiquated set, it's my favorite. One of my favorites. I really like it. Proper bow. Also, she has maybe the best emote. I know everyone's a fan of What Is It, and I can't deny Praise the Sun is great, but the proper bow might be my second favorite emote. Oh yes, here we go. We're gonna buy everything here. Hidden body. We could kind of skip cast light for now. Repair would be helpful, but I don't think it's any more helpful than... We'll probably actually skip repair. I wouldn't waste that because we're just gonna repair at our bonfire. Repair I think is really useful if you have a weapon like the Obsidian Greatsword or the Moonlight Greatsword, something where on the fly you're using a lot of endurance for your weapon using a special ability. There, I think it's useful. Otherwise, you don't really need. Yeah, I don't think this has any effect whatsoever on NPCs. So since I'm playing offline, we probably don't need that one either. Hidden weapon also very cool. Like she has just some very cool overlooked spells. I feel a lot of these are just very overlooked by most players. Again, that's kind of more of a PvP thing though, so I don't think hidden weapon will do us any good. I do want cast light, and I guess since we got the souls, we'll pick that up. All right. I thought she had one other spell that she does not have, but that's all right. Still, that on its own very helpful. Getting that stuff from her very helpful. I'm trying to think how I get her set. Yeah, I remember now. I don't think you can actually kill her right here. Not that I want to do that. The Sorcerer Cat. The Sorcerer Cat is actually not bad, but I really like the Elysial one. I know we're about to pick up the Tin Banishment one, which was actually kind of good for also melee. I think it's the best one for melee other than Manus's, I think. But yeah, I prefer to have this one. I like this. It's nice. It's lightweight. It's clean. Looks cool. I dig it. I feel good about that. That went really well. It's actually funny. Cast Light, too, is a very interesting spell. It's kind of outclassed by all the other means of light in the game. And I think what it really needs to do is last longer. It doesn't last long enough for taking up a whole attunement slot for only 3 uses. Never seemed quite balanced to me. I thought I could use a few more since the areas you'd want to use it in, you're already kind of sacrificing the attunement slot. I've always kind of wanted to walk around with Cast Light too, just to see if it would work anywhere like it does in the DLC. And we're not far from Fall Control. That would have been really useful for Blighttown. We're going to that other spot in Blighttown too. I'm not looking forward to that. Well, let's grab... I think that might be good. Using the Dark Sandsmoon Ring, I can always pull the trick where I can equip something like Hidden Body, and then once I'm out of Hidden Body, I would cast for it, I can just unequip the ring and put something else on. I feel like that's kind of an oversight they sort of missed in development. I'm not sure how they could fix that either. Not really an oversight per se. This isn't working as well as I hoped it would. They're noticing me fairly quickly. I wonder if they can hear me. Yeah, that's the other thing I need to quiet my character. Okay, we're not going to fight him probably ever, because we don't need to. See, that didn't last very long at all. I mean, how long was that? 30 seconds tops? That's not particularly great. Okay, he's got 2 things that I can't remember which one of them you can grab. We're not going to grab any. I know one of them is a shield, and it would be kind of useful, but I've already got my shield, so I'm all set on that. I do love this area, though. Not an area you see people traverse very often. Yeah, I'm not super impressed with that timer versus the casts.